Deepti Laurent is with me on the set now to take a look at what the papers have been saying today. Hi, Deepti.
Hi, Jeannie.
Lots of focus, of course, on this International Women's Day today.
It is making a lot of front pages and a lot of the world newspapers, it must be said. Let's start with this rather unprecedented move from Libération, which is a left-leaning paper here in France. Today, it's a double spread tackling the gender pay gap. The paper has decided that for today, male readers will be charged €2.50 and female readers €2 to represent the 25% gender parity when it comes to salaries. They do say that the profits will go to a group fighting gender equality, gender equality.
In the English-speaking world, we call this International Women's Day. But here in France, if you do a literal translation, it's actually International Women's Rights Day.
And there's a difference, at least according to Le Monde, the French paper. They're calling out the so-called hijacking of International Women's Day. Now, the High Council for Equality has tweeted out some suggestions reminding people that this is a day about activism. So don't organize beauty contests, don't hand out roses, and don't wish each other happy International Women's Day, because this is not a day, this is not a holiday. This is a day to be politically and socially active.
Now, around the world, lots of papers are focusing on incredible women doing some incredible things.
The Washington Post is looking at one such case, in fact, several cases of women from around the world. For instance, you have a 75-year-old Turkish woman called Canan Arin, who's dedicated her life to fighting domestic violence and sexual abuse. She's even managed to reverse some of the country's feudal laws. While over in Japan, Jun Yamamoto actually publicly spoke out about her own sexual abuse at the hands of her father in a country where few victims come forward. She's now pushing to change Japan's sex crime laws, where sentences can sometimes be as light as 3 years.
Now, staying with Japan, Japanese papers are also looking at a recent report on women's representation in parliaments around the world.
It's an annual report, Jeannie, and in 2017, Japan didn't fare very well. They came in 158th out of 193 countries surveyed. Interestingly, the top of this list was Rwanda, with 49 out of 80 lawmakers being women, so more than half of their parliamentarians are women, followed by Bolivia, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Sweden. Clearly, more work needs to be done for other countries, and for the editors at the Lebanese paper Daily Star, it's a battle that should be fought every day. I quote, "Let's make sure the next time we stop and think about equality is not 1 year from now."
There's also been a lot of focus on this International Women's Day against harassment. And in the United States, the porn actress Stormy Daniels is claiming that Donald Trump's lawyer is harassing her to keep silent over her alleged affair with the president.
This is a really steamy affair, and it just keeps unraveling. Stormy Daniels and her lawyer claimed the affair took place in 2006, shortly after Melania Trump gave birth to Donald Trump's son, Barron. It's believed she signed a non-disclosure agreement in 2016 during the electoral campaign and received $130,000 from Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, who says he paid for it out of his own pocket and didn't use campaign funds, because this, of course, was during the electoral campaign. On Tuesday, she filed a lawsuit claiming the NDA is null and void. She's accused the Trump team of threatening to keep her silent by taking out a restraining order against her. But one legal expert in Vox, it's really interesting, it's not about the money. By filing this lawsuit, Stormy Daniels has already made public a portion of her story, and basically she wants to continue so that she can make her entire story public, showing just how much harder it's getting, I quote, for powerful men to pay for women's silence in this Me Too era.
Now, also making headlines today is the Saudi prince, Mohammed bin Salman, and his trip to the UK.
The young prince met with Queen Elizabeth. He also met with Theresa May on Wednesday in a trip that aims to strengthen Saudi's economic partnership with the UK. But it has drawn a lot of backlash from opposition MPs who particularly criticized the red carpet welcome that was rolled out for the prince. Labour politician Emily Thornberry calls the red carpet welcome shameless in The Guardian, especially given Saudi Arabia's record when it comes to human rights and its offensive on Yemen, which has killed hundreds of citizens. Pretty much the same opinion from a cartoonist in the British daily The Times. The UK have called for a ceasefire in Yemen, like other countries, but they're also among the biggest weapons and arms dealers to the Saudis. A double-edged sword. Their aid is helping the Yemenis, but their weapons are killing them.
All right, Dipti, just to wrap up now, it's the end of an era for a great British music magazine, NME.
The iconic music magazine that founded in 1952 will be publishing this Friday its last print edition ever. They'll continue online, though, but say they are a victim of changing times and the internet, of course. Let's leave you with 4 of their iconic covers. The Sex Pistols, this was in the 1970s. John Lennon, who made the front cover after his death in 1980. Nirvana frontman Kurt Cobain, who made the cover after his death in 1994. And of course, the height of rock and grunge in the 90s with Blur and Oasis.
Oh, it'll be missed. That makes me think, too, a shout out to my favorite hometown radio station, The Loop in Chicago, classic rock station. It also shut its doors this week.
What a shame.
Oh, what a shame. Dipti, thank you so much for that look at the news today on this International Women's Day. You can get a closer look at the press review or at any of the other stories we're covering for you throughout the day on our website, the address France24.com.